there in the internet land. We are so happy that you're joining us today. We've got a great show lined up for you, not from you, for you. And our guest tonight is joining us from Europe, but we'll get to that in just a second. Let me go ahead and remind you that we are an interactive show. What that means, well, that's pretty simple. We like to interact with you, the audience, and the way to do so is get onto Twitter and give us a mention at AllIndie, ALLINDIE. If you give us a mention on Twitter, we will give you a shout out right here on the air. We'll even show your tweet on the little box right there at the bottom of the screen. And you can even ask our guests questions via that method as well. I am using my diction today because I haven't had any beer.
What?
No. Usually after I've had a few beers, I can't speak as clearly as I'm speaking right now. I can feel it in my mouth. I'm actually speaking clearly today. Next time I got to get a beer first.
You said
anyway,
that was so bad. You can feel your diction in your mouth.
Wait a minute.
That's what you said.
No. All right, take two. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays. No. Anyway, that voice behind me, we'll get to him in just a second. Let me go ahead and introduce him at the moment. And I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of a way to introduce him in a funny manner. And I'm really having a difficult time right now because he, interrupted my flow. And that's going to sound bad too, I know. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me from Paris, Illinois, that is Mr. Rich Wildman. Hey, Rich.
It's all about what you say and how you say it, Mark. It's something
about diction and flow. I don't know.
Yeah, you just really put your foot in it today, and
you couldn't just let it go, could you? You had to interrupt me.
Carol would be upset if I let it go, and you know me better than that, and I'm just going to leave it at that because the way we talk about Carol, sorry, but the way we talk about Carol, you would think that we are actually doing this show just for her. No, she's the boss. If she ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Well, that's true. She is the woman in the group, so
I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Anyway,
how are things over in Paris?
Things are doing well. It was a very nice day today, and yesterday was equally as nice. Got a lot of yard work done. We have more leaves. It is that time of the year when the leaves fall from the trees. We spent more time raking leaves and burning leaves and just generally cleaning up the yard. It was a job that I don't really enjoy, but we had to do it. So, we got that done. We're happy. We're set for winter now. And so, I hope it doesn't snow, but if it does, that's okay.
It's inevitable.
I know. How many times have your children seen snow?
Once, and it was kind of half-ass snow in New York in March.
Yeah. New York.
I, on the other hand, survived the blizzard of 1978 up in New Jersey, so I remember it well.
Yes. Yeah, I remember a lot of snow when I was younger. Look at this, Carol is watching, so
I know.
I'm just saying.
Of course she is.
So,
hey, anyway, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was great. Hope yours was equally as good.
I am tryptophan, enough for the week, for the month. I mean, I'm done with tryptophan for a while.
Yeah, well, I know someone who's not. Someone who's not done with tryptophan is Walt over at the Indie Music Bus. Walt,
nice segue.
Yeah, they sponsor the show, and we got to give them a shout out because they do such a good job for us. And I'll tell you, the thing is, Walt has been doing some behind the scenes work on the Indie Music Bus to better support those indie artists that ride the bus with him. And one of the things he did, he came out and mentioned today. If you follow the Indie Music Bus, you probably already know about this. If you don't follow them, hit them up over on Twitter at Indie Music Bus because they're doing some great things over there. One of the things they rolled out today was the ability to know when artists promote their music from certain music sites on the web, and be able to catalog that and then use that for further promotion for those artists. And I think that's a great deal. It saves the artist a lot of time and effort.
He's always coming up with some new, creative, and amazing ways to help promote.
Really. Yeah, he really is. And we'd like for you to hook up with Walt and the Indie Music Bus. Take a look at this, and we'll be back in.
All right, Indie Music Bus. Make sure you check them out if you're in the indie music industry. He will guarantee to, basically work his ass off for you, as he does for all of the indie artists out there. Amazing guy. If you haven't had a chance to meet him, make sure you hook up with him on Facebook. He's a hell of a guy. And on that note, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for the night. We have an interesting situation here. We have a band called World5. They are located all over the world, hence the name World5. And guess what? There are 5 members. Amazing how that works. Now, originally, the lead singer, Sam, was supposed to join us, but unfortunately, he's not feeling too well tonight. So we have one of the original founders of the band joining us all the way from Gothenburg, Sweden. He is the drummer. Nice guy. All smiles, wearing a really cool hat. His name is Raymond Breitfeld. And I think you prefer to be called Raymond or Ray?
Ray, that doesn't matter. Anyway.
Ray? All right, cool. And look at that classy piece of art you have behind you on the wall there.
It's all originals. Very, 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 very expensive originals.
Right. Sure. And original what? Original Breitfelds? Are they? Did you paint those? No, I don't think so. So you were one of, let's see, 2 of founding members that are in the band now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And who's the other one?
We were Stefan. He's the guy in New Zealand. Stefan Gerdes is his name. And we were playing together when we were kids already, so we know each other 100 years. And so we thought, now, well, the internet is quite nowadays. It's as far as we can communicate, and we can. Why shouldn't we work together? Even if he's living in New Zealand and me, I'm living in Sweden, it's working just fine.
Yeah. Well, so now how did you guys meet? I mean, if he's in New Zealand, were you living in New Zealand, or was he living in Switzerland?
No, he was. He's a German guy. He's from Germany. Me as well. So we went to school together, and we played in school together. We played in many bands, and then he moved to New Zealand. He married actually a Maori, which is a original New Zealand woman. Yeah. And that time the internet connection wasn't that good, so we couldn't communicate like nowadays. It's possible on Skype and whatever with all video files. You can send big files nowadays. Everything is working, but then it started to improve, and so we thought, hey, let's chat and let's do something together. So we called a couple of other friends. We had musicians, and we started World5, and it turns out, well, we're still there.
Yeah. How long has World5 been in existence now?
We started 2011 with original member was one of the saxophone players, was actually also a guy which went to school together with us, and we had an American singer which we were playing live with, and American bass player. We know each other quite well. So 2011, we started to record, and we released our first album in 2012. It was a different label. We had Island Def Jam as our label, and now we are at home at Spectrum Music Group, which is really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier that he actually married a Maori woman.
Maori, yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So can he do the haka dance? Has he learned it yet?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I have to say, it's beautiful.
You ought to get him to videotape that, put it on YouTube so we can include that in our show. You don't think he would go? No. Oh man!
But he did the right thing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful over there. New Zealand is beautiful. He did the right thing.
Oh yeah, I've heard things about New Zealand. I haven't been there yet. Hopefully one day I will.
Beautiful.
I've been close. I've been close to New Zealand. I was in Australia, if that counts.
Well,
kind of close anyway. Now I know that recently you actually changed lead singers, so that Sam Stevens, who was supposed to be joining us tonight, he is actually your new lead singer. And one of the songs, I guess two of the songs that we're playing tonight are not with him singing, and the third song that we're going to play tonight is him. Correct?
No. The new single is that's the first song we recorded with him. We are about to record an album. We have 11 songs already, working on 11 songs from new albums, Spectrum Music Group. And the single you're going to play is the first single we released with Sam, our new singer. He's from Nottingham, England.
Oh, Nottingham, pardon me.
And the funny thing is, we had an interview, and the host, he asked him, "Is this town? It doesn't really exist, Nottingham, but because everybody knows Robin Hood, you know, it's Robin Hood town, Nottingham." So, and it was quite funny. He said, "Yeah, it does exist. It's quite a big city."
And everybody there wears tights, green tights. Now, I was commenting before, you know, you guys have a picture, and obviously it's a Photoshop photo of all 5 of you together, and you know, you guys look like a classic rock band. You guys look like, you know, you've been around for a while, and your bass player, what's his name, Jimmy?
Jimmy, he's cool.
Yeah, he looks serious, man. He looks like a real, you know, rock and roller. He's got that.
he really is.
And all of you get along great, I assume, yeah?
Yeah, you're the best friends, really best friends. It's really cool working together. If the chemistry is most important, I think. If you do music together, you have to have a good chemistry. And Sammy went over to my place. He stayed here in Gothenburg in Sweden. And I went to London. I was over there, and I met Stephanie. I was in New Zealand, and it was really a great time. So everybody is good. We are good friends, yeah.
That's great. That's good. I think what we're going to go ahead and do, we're running right about on time, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and play the first song of the evening.
Yeah.
And what I like to do is ask you to tell us a little bit about the song, what it's about, and you know, how it came to be. So the first song we're going to play is "Heartbeat of the World." Tell us a little bit about that one.
Heartbeat of the World. Doing music, there's so much bad things going on in the world, and Heartbeat of the World says we should have a positive vibe. It's a positive feeling, and it's all about coming together and working together and helping together. And what's the song about? Heartbeat of the World.
All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and let the audience take a listen. Rich, take it away. Heartbeat of the World by World5, right here on Tuesdays Live.
and be strong. 'Cause people are dying and war is raging round. The heartbeat of the world is strong. It's beating loudly through her children and her songs. Find the place where you belong to strengthen the heartbeat of the world. That inner voice is calling you to make this world a better place. Have courage and answer the call and help the whole human race. Hunger, disease, pollution. Will you be the world's solution? The heartbeat of the world is strong. Let's stop the hatred and doing wrong. We need peace to get along and share the message of the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. It's beating loudly through her children and her songs. Find the place where you belong to strengthen the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. Let's stop the hatred and doing wrong. We need peace to get along and share the message of the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. It's beating loudly through her children and her songs. Find the place where you belong to strengthen the heartbeat of the world.
Heartbeat of the World by World5. You're listening, watching us here on Tuesdays Live. I'm still doing that whole listening thing. I got to get over that worldwide worldwide indie radio state of mind. And
For a man who's not had any beer, any liquor, anything at all like that, you're doing remarkably well, Mark.
I was doing just fine until that whole fiction thing.
I remember the Butterflies Radio from Carol. Butterflies Radio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we started off as Butterflies Radio, and then we changed our name to Worldwide Indie Radio.
Yeah,
and
cool.
we had it for several years, and we did 3 years of Twitter Tuesday Live, and
yeah,
it was a good run. It was a good run. I'm glad I'm glad you remember. All right, I'm gonna hand it over to my buddy Rich here. He's gonna quiz you for a while now.
Yeah,
right.
I have I have a ton of questions. One of the things that fascinates me about bands like World5 is that you actually are spread out so far around the world. How do you guys actually collaborate and record your music, being that you're not together in the same studio space?
First of all, I think that if you do the thing we do, you have to know each other quite well. At least some of the musicians. As I said before, Sam is quite new, but Stefan, me, and some of the other guys, we were playing together so many years, so we know each other musically. Otherwise, I don't think it would work. And how we connect to each other is, of course, Skype. We talk on Skype. We know each other. All the stuff. When Stefan sends a part, for example, our guitar player sends a part, I already know when I listen to it what I could do musically on the drums and so on and so on. So we have already a clue when we get a file from one of us writing a song. We all writing songs, so we already have an idea how it could work. Basically, sometimes, of course, you have to tweak. Everybody has to tweak, but it has a big advantage. I mean, you don't have to wait until the guitar solo is finished after 3 hours. You sit at home. We all have recording studios our own, and when we record our stuff at home and send the file, and then Joe in Houston, he mixes it together, and Randy, our former bass player, he masters it. So we have a big studio in the US for the end production, but we have all our own studios to record our parts.
So you're basically in these modern times. This is, I would describe it as doing worldwide collaboration, old school. You each record your own tracks, and then you shuttle, tracks to each other via email, Dropbox, or Skype, or whatever the case is. Yeah.
We transfer or Dropbox, absolutely.
Okay. I was curious because I know that there are a lot of websites out there that purport to be able to do full duplex audio for band collaborations and things like that. And I didn't know if you guys were using any of those, if you've tried any of those or anything like that.
No, I don't think we need to. We know each other musically. We know exactly what we want to do. And I think it's enough if we get a file from one of us writing a song, then it doesn't need, we know exactly what to do. So for us, it's a kind of easy fix, actually, to do like this, work like this.
That makes sense. Now, independent bands and bands in general make most of their time together rehearsing and actually touring on the road. Does World5 spend, being all around the world like this, it must be difficult to get everybody together to go on a tour, or do you guys actually make time to get together and actually go tour or whatnot?
We'd love to. We will see when this album is finished. Spectra Music Group, they want us to play live, and we'd love to play live, of course we do. But as we're coming from all around the world, the logistic is a big issue for us, because we cannot say, hey, come on, let's come from New Zealand over to Sweden, and from the US to Sweden, or something like that. And we want to do this. We want to play live. But when the album is finished, that we promote it at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's important too, and that's another reason why bands tour, obviously, to promote their albums and things like that. Does your label? Labels expect bands to help promote albums just like they promote the albums for the band. Has the label ever came to you and said, "Hey, we'd love to get you guys together to go tour and help you guys out to make that happen"?
Yeah, they do. They actually do. But they want, as I said, they want to see the finished album first. We want to have the finished album first, and that really makes sense. Then we will come together. We meet in the US. We have a rehearsal room. We have a studio there. We practice, we rehearse, and we go out. Of course, we already have a lot of offers for concerts, but as I said, it makes only sense if when the album's finished. And we need, of course, a little bit extra musicians. We need a keyboarder. We need background singers, and it's all a very big logistic problems. But hopefully, as I said, next year in summertime, next year, latest in autumn, next year, we go out and do.
I think that'd be great. I'm looking forward to that. Mark, did you hear they're looking for a keyboardist and background singers?
Ryan, come on, man.
You caught me by surprise there. Thank you very much.
Mark,
that on purpose, didn't you?
No, actually, I didn't. But I'm just thinking, Mark, man, you could do the background vocals. Why not?
Oh, absolutely, sure, yeah. I got the snaps and everything to go with it. You know, and
Cool.
you'll what? Do bass? You'll play bass? Oh no, we'll get Ian. No, I don't know.
And we already got. There's already a bass player there. I couldn't do that. You know.
Right. Wouldn't that be cool though? 2 bass players, 2 drummers.
Be like Earth, Wind, and Fire or something. You know.
Yes.
Did they have?
A horn section. That's what you guys. Horn
section. Exactly. Now I do have one more question, and I know that we're going to get to the second song here very quickly. But the other question I have is, you mentioned earlier in the program that you had been brought on with a new label. You'd switched labels from one to the other.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this next album with the single we're going to hear a little bit later on in the show is it going to be the first album with the new label?
No, it's the second one. It's the second one. We released one already. It's also called Heartbeat of the World, as the song you played before. And it was our second album. And this was with Spectra Records, Spectra Music Group. And I think we found our home. Actually, we changed label. We started with Island Def Jam. Then we went to Jeffrey Collins was the name. He has Ecovista Music Group. So he had the own record label. He released 2 of our songs. And then we got the contract from Spectre Records, and we are very, very nice guys, and we feel at home now. We want to stay with Spectre Records.
That makes sense. I mean, if you're not happy with your label, obviously you need to find one you're happy with, and I'm glad you're happy with Spectrum. So when's the new single or next album coming out?
Next album is coming out in summer next year. June, July. We want to release one single before we probably release in January. We're heading for January. We have 5 songs ready, and we want to choose one for the next single. We want to release the next single in January and the album in June, July.
Perfect.
That's the plan.
All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to Mark. I know he wants to introduce your next track. Mark?
I do. But before I introduce the next track, I was reading part of your bio, your part of the bio, and I was reading this paragraph that basically describes you as destroying your father's violin so that you can make your own guitar.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just wondering, how did your father feel about that? He wasn't amused, as the queen would say. I mean, a violin.
I just was improvising.
If my father, I get that. I know, but I got to tell you that if it was me and I did that to my father's violin, I don't know. I don't know if I'd see the light of day for a few years after that.
Grounded forever.
Probably, yes. I saw that. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Oh my God. Hey, but it worked, right? It worked.
Was my first guitar, actually. I played guitar many years. Was the first one, my father's violin.
Homemade guitar from a violin. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and play the second song of the night, which is called Man of Action. Tell us a little bit about this song before we play it.
Man of Action is quite a little bit funny. It's about women's expectations in men, so they cannot, man can never have women's expectations. So it's all about that. Man of Action. Be the hero. Be the man of action.
All right, cool. I like that. Rich, let's go ahead and play it. It's Man of Action by World5 right here on Tuesdays Live. Here
to take you away. Or maybe just a Superman to pick you up and then just fly away. Better come back to reality. You could do much worse than me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. You count on me. Oh. So you think that I'm not strong enough to keep you satisfied? But when it comes to my love, you'll find it stronger than kryptonite. Better come back to reality. You can do much worse than me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. You can count on me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Guaranteed. Count on me. Count on me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Count on me. You count on me.
And we're back.
Hello
Man of
again.
action.
Hello,
World
man of action. Hi there.
right here on Tuesdays Live. I'm going to step aside and I'm just going to let Ray host the show.
Yeah, I should. I really should.
Oh, man.
I'm from Sweden.
Huh?
I am from Sweden.
Yeah, what? Right. I did say that, didn't I? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. At one point, I did say Switzerland by mistake, but that, yes. All right. So you're from where IKEA comes from.
Yeah, land of IKEA, but actually IKEA isn't Swedish anymore. The most people think IKEA is Swedish, but he's fooling the people because he is. I think he's Luxembourg or somewhere or Holland or something. Because of we have the high taxes in Sweden, so that's the reason why he went.
Oh, well, I mean, you know, he still sells Swedish meatballs in this store.
He does. He does a lot.
Yeah, I've had them. They're pretty good. They're not bad.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
As far as Swedish meatballs go, you know, I'm not a meatball connoisseur, but still. So we were talking about earlier about how you destroyed your father's violin, and he wasn't too happy about that, obviously. So you decided so you decided that wasn't enough. You were going to make your father angrier, and you went and destroyed his radio.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't have an amplifier. So that was the closest thing to an amplifier. So yeah, well, I did it too.
You survived childhood somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how. Wow.
I had to
I
move
gotta,
from Germany.
I'm wondering if your other the band members have interesting stories like this. It's a shame we couldn't get them all on the show. It would have been interesting to hear some of their childhood stories.
Oh yeah, they do. We had a lot of fun.
Well, you knew. Oh, I'm sorry. You said it was Stefan that you grew up with, right?
Yeah, Stefan. Yeah, the guy in New Zealand. He's German,
Right.
and he moved to New Zealand. Yeah.
So what did you guys do together that was like really bad when you were kids? What did you do when you were kids that now you look back and go, wow, I can't believe we did that?
I think there was too much things. But Stephanie was the nice guy. He was really the nice guy. So he was always friendly and nice people, and I was always the bad guy. So and Stefan and me, we played guitar in a band together. Actually, I was a guitar player first when before I started to play drums. And we had a drummer in this band, and I always thought, oh, Stefan, he was awesome at this time already. And I always thought, hey, I can do better. So I started to play drums, and we replaced the drummer. And then I started studying, and since then I'm playing drums. Yeah, but we were two guitar players together. It was cool.
It's funny how after I talked about your guitar story with the violin, that you still told us that you originally played guitar first. So, yeah.
Stefan, when Stefan, I remember when Stefan, he did concerts on classic guitar or some stuff like this. And when he was, I think he was about 13 or 14 years old, he gave a concert on the classic concert. Actually, it was some Mozart stuff or whatever. And there was a little curtain, and he came in the room, and then he opened the curtain and he played the whole classic concert on an electric guitar. Everything, Mozart electric guitar. It was amazing. So he had the kind of stuff, a little weird but interesting, cool stuff.
So who were your favorite bands growing up when you were kids?
Musicians, Genesis, yes, all these great English bands. Actually, Toto is my favorite band because they not musically. Maybe I love Genesis all the time. That was my favorite, Peter Gabriel. But if you hear Toto playing Toto, it doesn't get more perfect.
Yeah, they're a good band. I love them. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Musically awesome. Awesome. When you see concerts with all these guys together in one place, you think about, now you collect all the best musicians in the world together in one band. Simon Phillips on drums, all these guys, and Leland Scott on bass. This guy is amazing. He played everywhere. He played I played with Phil Collins. He played with everybody. All these amazing guys in one band. And if you listen to them, and as a musician, you can't. I think you can't imagine better musicality than these guys. Absolutely great.
Unfortunately, I never had an opportunity to see them live in concert. I've seen Genesis and I've seen Yes, but I never saw.
Yeah, I've seen both too. But musically, like perfection, it's total. It's if you can buy DVD or something and listen to them. It's perfect timing. It's perfect musicality. It's absolutely great what these guys are doing.
I agree with that. And it's funny. Toto is a very popular band, but not nearly as popular as Yes or Genesis was. And so most people wouldn't even bring up Toto. So I'm pleasantly surprised that you brought them up, because they're actually one of my favorite bands as well.
If you buy an album of the 80s or the 90s, I think every second album you have one of the guys playing somewhere. Steve Lucas is playing guitar, or one of these guys. They play all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Hey, Rich, when we were off the air before, I think you had kind of hinted that you had a couple of more questions that you wanted to throw into the bucket. You remember what they were?
No, I always have questions though. That's not going to stop me just because I don't remember what they were.
Well, I want to make sure we get time for you to ask them. So if you remember what they are.
Yeah, no, I do have questions. There's always that. I'm interested, bands when they're not always together, they have a lot of downtime. There's a lot of free time. What do you guys, I mean, I know you speak for yourself, but for the band as a whole, what do you guys like to do when you're not playing, when you're not recording or anything like that?
We play all the time. Joe, the guitar player, he's a professional musician. He does his living from playing. Steph, he does his living from playing. So me, well, I'm recording. I'm doing stuff. I'm writing stuff. We do music all the time. Actually, we have our families. Everybody has a family. I'm married, so children, grandchildren. But yeah, we all making music all the time. Actually, that's what we do.
And if you had the opportunity to bring the band together full time, if you had that opportunity, would you want to do it there in Europe? Would you want to do it in New Zealand, in the States? Where in the world? In the States?
In the States, because we have our biggest studios there. We have Randy there. Randy was our former bass player. He's quite a famous producer. He has a lot of Grammys and stuff. So and he's producing, and we have the studio in Houston, so we could rehearse there. And we love the States. I've been there several times. I love it. Stephan's been there. Everybody has been there. We love the States. I think the States is the best for us because our record label is a US company. So we will definitely start touring in the States. We have already offers for concerts in New York, in Los Angeles. So we're going to do that. States first, and then we come over to Europe.
I'm actually looking forward to someday you guys getting over to the States and maybe come to Paris, Illinois. It's so small you probably will miss it on a map. But
I know another Paris, Texas. There was a movie. You remember this, Paris, Texas?
Yes.
I first saw you live in Paris, Texas, but then I saw Illinois. Wow, there's another one. Cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of small towns with a lot of strange. You know, I'm sure you have small towns, small villages with strange names in Sweden.
In Sweden, the entire Sweden is a small village.
We have a lot of small towns. When a small town doesn't steal a name from a large town somewhere in the world, they make up names. You know, like there's a town in Alabama called Slap Out. So
really?
Just strange names, but you know,
Walla Walla, Washington.
Exactly, Walla Walla, Washington. But it would be great to be able to get you guys. I mean, what do you think when you setting up tours? And I know you guys don't do it a lot, but do you like touring more in more intimate venues or large venues? What are the thoughts?
We have to be a little bit larger venues because of all the, you know, on stage we need to be at least 7 to 8 musicians. That's what we need to have, and we need to have a little bit bigger venues because of all this logistic stuff. We can't play in a little club. It's not working for us.
It just doesn't. Maybe a larger venue pays better, so it makes the whole tour a little bit more worthwhile, I guess.
Yeah, I think the plan.
One of the things you have to take into account anyway, I would imagine.
I think the entire plan is now what Spectre's planning with us is they put us together with some other artists, and we make a tour together, and that makes sense. I think it's a great thing if you have same record label and you have artists like you know, foreigner singer Lou Gramm and all these people on the record label, and you make a tour together, and I think that's the best thing for us too. Tour together with some other artists. We love to do that.
Who do you want to open for you guys then?
Well, we won't open for Totem because we would be afraid. You know, we would be afraid.
Rich wasn't asking who do you want to open for. Rich was asking who do you want opening for you.
Well, Totem would be great.
Okay.
There you go. They might do that. They might do that.
Photo in the small letters, you know, and the headliner World5. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would be cool.
I wanted to mention Carol had said earlier too that she heard a little Hall & Oates in the song before as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where they're from. So, all right. So let's go ahead and play now the third and final song of the evening, which is called "I Won't Let You Down," and this is your new single, and there's the new singer Sam. Tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, Sam he wrote it. It's actually a love song. You can say it's a love song. It's a love story, and Sam wrote it, and it was the first song I heard from him, and I went scrabbled to all these Reverb Nation musicians, and as I said before, we did an audition for a new singer, and I think it was I went through 300 singers, and then I suddenly heard this track. It wasn't now we re-recorded it. We hopefully we improved it a little bit and did new guitars and stuff on it. But I was impressed of the musicality and of his vocals, so that's the reason why we said okay. I called him, and the funny thing was sometimes I'm a little, you know, my German accent. If I talk to him, I said, "Hey, you want to be in this band?" And it wasn't kind of, you know, question. It was kind of order, and he was yeah, you know, yes, of course.
You were using Jedi mind tricks. You want this is the band you're looking for, okay?
So and he said yes, of course, and so we
this is the band I'm looking for. All right, okay. The song is "I Won't Let You Down" by World5, right from Tuesdays Live. Rich, spin it.
I won't let you down. If winter stays a black December, I'm on my way. I'll look after you. I won't let you down. If April
I Won't Let You Down by World5 right here on Tuesdays Live. That was, of course, the theme song for the next James Bond movie coming out.
Yeah,
apparently.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it does. That's the first thing I noticed when the song started. Was like, wow, it sounds like I'm about to watch a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
And Sam's got a good voice, and I'm looking at this picture of him that I have in the bio here, and he could even play James Bond, except for the blonde hair. I don't know of any blonde James Bonds, but he's he's got the look. He could do it.
Yeah, he's kind of gentleman rocker, and the music, it would fit absolutely.
What kind of car is that he's sitting in?
I think it's Audi Cabriolet or something.
I don't know, but it sure looks nice. I wouldn't mind having one. It's a convertible, whatever it is.
It's not an Aston Martin. It's not an Aston Martin, I can tell.
No, that's too bad. He doesn't. I don't see all the buttons in there, for firing missiles and all that kind of stuff, or converting into a submarine or something like that. Well, when you talk to Sam, though, tell him kudos. Tell him we think he's got a great voice. Good job.
Right? Thank you. Cool.
Yeah, you picked a good one there, and you can. I think you can release him from the Jedi mind thing.
He already signed. He already signed.
Oh, he signed already. Okay.
It's too late.
Okay, gotcha there. Now, usually, I don't have it open, but usually around this time, what we do is we do what we call rapid fire questions. And this is where I will ask you some questions, random questions that have absolutely nothing to do with anything whatsoever.
Really cool.
And then you just answer the questions as quickly as you can. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead.
This is going to show who the real Raymond is. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
Always.
Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh man.
Old man. One
wow.
more word. Okay.
3 words. Old man. Wow.
Okay. All right. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Mozart.
Why?
Mozart. Why? He had fun all his life. He had a short life, but it was the best life ever. He made music all the time, and he had so much fun.
Okay.
Right?
I did. Well, from what I know, I mean, I love Mozart. I love his music. I don't know too much about his life, but from what I know, yes, it did look like he had fun all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. What is the one thing that you would put on your bucket list?
On my bucket list?
Yes, on your bucket list. Do you know what a bucket list is? I'm sorry. I'm just assuming you know bucket list. A bucket list is a list of items that you want to do in your life before you die.
Travel around the world again. I did this before. It is beautiful.
Really? So you've done this already? All right.
2 times. 2 times.
Are you a morning or a night person?
Night.
Most musicians
It was
are.
fast. Yeah, it was fast.
Yes. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be, and who would play you?
Who will play me?
What genre would it be first?
I think. Oh, what genre? It would be a pirate movie. And I mean, we had this already. Pirates of the Caribbean. We had this already. That would be me.
Oh, so Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp for you?
Captain Jack Sparrow, definitely.
Okay, all right. That's pretty funny, actually.
I love it.
Gosh, all right. let's see. Where would you go if you were invisible?
Invisible. Wow. That's a tough question. Where would I go? Fort Knox maybe, and take it all out.
I don't know if there's anything in Fort Knox. I don't know. There's lots of conspiracy about that. I don't know.
I've heard that.
Right. Okay, finish this sentence. All right. When I dance, I look like
A dancer.
Really? Okay.
Wrong question.
No, it wasn't the answer I was expecting. I was expecting, something funny, like, I look like a duck. I look like a fool. I look like I don't know. I don't. No, that's all right. Okay, we'll leave it at that. That means you're a good dancer,
Mark. What it is that Ray can dance while you can't, Mark.
I know.
I doubt it. I'm not a good dancer at all. To be honest.
I don't know about that. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We are going to have to close it out. We got 3 minutes left of the show. Actually, 2 minutes now. And so we're going to have to wrap things up. And I want to take this time to say thank you. I know that you jumped in last minute to be on here with us tonight because Sam couldn't make it. And we're glad you did. We had a lot of fun with you. And
thank you, guys.
We hope that one day we'll be able to get all 5 of you on the show. That would be fun.
Yeah, would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah.
Probably would be mayhem, but at least it would be fun.
a couple of us sitting there, one there, that would be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? In front of that beautiful wall of art you have behind you. Well, next week, folks, we have Radio Drive joining us. Now, Kevin Gullickson from Radio Drive, he was on Twitter Tuesday Live back in the day with Carol and I, and we had a lot of fun with him. Good music. You're going to really enjoy it, so don't forget to tune in next week with that. Again, thanks to our guest tonight, Ray from World5. And
thank you, guys.
And we hope everybody out there had a great time as well. Rich, any last words before we call it a night?
Actually, I got two things I want to say before we call it a night. One, obviously, is good night, Carol. The other one is clean up on aisle 3. We need Pinky the janitor to, kind of take care of that.
Yes. I didn't get a chance to mention, but real quick, Patreon, if you're interested in helping support our show, which in turn supports indie artists, go over to patreon.com/TuesdaysLive. And for as little as just $1 a month, you can become a patron of Tuesdays Live. All right. On that note, let me go ahead and say goodnight. We're going to close out the show tonight with a song by Radio Drive, who, again, as I mentioned, is going to be on the show next week. Same time, same station. Make sure you join us. The name of the song is Humanity. It's Radio Drive right here on Tuesdays Live. Thank you all for joining. Peace out. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Sometimes the world is a lonely place. Forgets your name, forgets your face. Sometimes the world, it doesn't care, turns its back, leaves you there. We're all part of society, one nation, tribe, one family. Open your eyes.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.